We're just 11 days from the general election. Much of the attention, of course, has been on the race for the White House, but Hoosiers also have the chance to vote for governor.
Yeah, Taylor Johnson spoke with the three candidates looking for your vote. She joins us now with their appeal to you before you head to the polls. Taylor.
Mike and Dana, Republican incumbent Eric Holcomb, Democrat Dr. Woody Myers, and Libertarian Donald Rainwater each shared with me why they should be Indiana's leader, with hopes that Hoosiers will trust them with their vote.
Election Day is in less than 2 weeks, and while thousands of Hoosiers in the Valley have already cast their ballot, it's not over yet. Governor candidates are still on the trail, hoping to gain voter support. In the race is Governor Eric Holcomb.
But the number of investments that we were making and the growth of our economy was allowing us as a state and as a people to grow. And I want to keep that momentum going.
Dr. Woody Myers.
If you believe that we should make progress that's fair and across the board for everyone, then you should vote for me. If you think things are going extremely well and there's no need for improvement, vote for one of the other guys.
And Donald Rainwater.
I want to reduce the size and scope of government. I want to reduce government's control over your daily life and give the power back to you.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, over 150,000 Hoosiers have been infected and nearly 4,000 have died. In Vigo County, over 2,600 are infected and nearly 40 have died as of October 22nd. Governor Holcomb recently moved the state to stage 5 of his Back on Track Indiana plan. And while capacity limits are no longer required, he says things like masking and social distancing are still in order.
Well, there's a COVID code as well, and it has to do with spacing and distancing properly and safely. And so that's what we'll continue to focus on, is making sure the word is out that we're working with our local partners, mayors, commissioners all over the state of Indiana, here in the Wabash Valley.
Donald Rainwater says if it were up to him, there would be no shutdowns or mask mandates.
As far as government mandating a one-size-fits-all solution that is supposed to keep us all safe when we can clearly see that it's not, and then to try to blame people who aren't wearing masks for the amount of increase in the virus spreading. First of all, there's no science behind that whatsoever. That's just scare tactic.
Woody Myers says Indiana is on the wrong track, so he'd make adjustments.
Parts of our state should be back in stage 3. The parts of our state that have lower numbers could be at stage 4, but we are absolutely at the wrong stage right now. And that's why our numbers keep going up.
Civil unrest in many parts of the country has trickled down to Indiana and the Wabash Valley. All three candidates share their views on police reform and individual accountability.
I see it as an opportunity for us to step forward and be a leader as a state. Obviously, these are, again, shared responsibilities, local and state. We, I think, will be known as a state that stepped forward and said, we're going to, whether we need to or not, we're going to reevaluate, we're going to evaluate everything that we do in terms of law enforcement. So we've brought on a third party, and they will evaluate our training practices, ILEA, the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, and how we conduct our affairs, how we train our officers.
We've seen many other names appear before our screens, and of people who were unjustly harmed or killed. We know that the situation has not gotten, has not received the attention that it should. And policies have to change. My thoughts are very clear on that. One, we have to put a ban on any kind of a chokehold or carotid hold or anything that restricts the airflow to the lungs or the blood flow to the brain. Remember, these are people oftentimes who haven't even been arrested, let alone tried, convicted, or sentenced.
We have to understand that individuals need to be held accountable and responsible for their acts of aggression, their violence, their issues that they perpetrate. And we need to stop trying to overgeneralize and say, well, it's this group's fault, or it's that group's fault, or this group is the problem. We have to hold people accountable, and we have to hold them accountable in a way that sends a message that this is not acceptable in our society.
I also spoke to each candidate about their thoughts on infrastructure in Vigo County and teacher pay, and you can find their answers on our website, mywabashvalley.com.
All right, thank you, Taylor. A lot of good information right there.